Let's introduce you to fractions. A fraction is a part of a whole. It consists of a numerator and a denominator. The numerator is the number on the top and the denominator is the number at the bottom. An example of what a fraction looks like is something like this: 4/7. This right here is your numerator and the number at the bottom here is your denominator. Now let's take a look at some other examples of fractions. If I had, for example, if I had something that looked like this, let's call this a medicine holder, and we can assume that it's trying to hold some medicines for maybe 7 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to hold some medicines for 7 days. If we have consumed all the medicines in these 4 different compartments, what we end up having is that the fraction that we haven't consumed ends up being, remember, a fraction is a part of a whole. So we have 3 parts that are available. The total number of parts that we started off with, we have 7. What if we have 4 balls right here? We have 4 balls and we give away 1 ball to somebody. So let's scratch this off right here. We give this ball away. So we can say, what fraction of the total number of balls did we started off with did we give away? So we started off with 4. So we started off with 4 and we gave away 1. So that is 1/4. We can also ask the question in the reverse. After giving 1 away, what fraction of our total number of balls did we have left? So we start off with 4, we gave 1 away, so we have 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 left. What if we had number of pages in a book? So let's assume that we have a book with 100 pages and after a week we had read 27 of those pages. So you could ask the question, what fraction of the book has been read? So we start off with figuring out how many pages did we start with? 100. How many did we read? 27. So 27 over 100 becomes the fraction. Likewise, you could ask, what fraction was not read? So we want to find out how many pages were not read. That's going to give us 73. But we remember that we had 100 to start off with. 73 was not read. So we've read 27 out of 100 pages, but we have 73 out of 100 pages to go. Now we're going to look at proper fractions. A proper fraction is a fraction where your numerator is less than your denominator. So it could be anything. So if you have, for example, a denominator of 8, any number from 1 to 7 would fit up here, would make a proper fraction. So 2/8 will be a good proper fraction. 5/8 will be a good proper fraction. 7/8 would be a good proper fraction. Let's try some other ones. If I put 15 here, it means anything from 1 to 14 would make a good proper fraction. So 8, 11, 14. Another example, if I make this 28, anything from 1 to 27 will be a good proper fraction. We'll make this a good proper fraction. So let's try 9. We can try 17. And we can also try 25. And finally, 163. So, as long as the number on the top, which is your numerator, is less than 163, you have a good proper fraction. Remember, you can't use 0 because 0 will make this 0. It will no longer be a proper fraction. It will no longer be a fraction. It will just be 0. So now, anything from 1 all the way to 162 makes this a good proper fraction. So I'm just going to use 79 for this. So these are examples of proper fractions. Let's look at improper fractions. This is pretty much the reverse of what we call a proper fraction. In this case, your numerator must be larger than your denominator. So if I had 12, for example, any number greater than 12 will make this an improper fraction. So 13, 19, 31. These are all improper fractions. And one final example here, 18. So anything that is greater than 18. So let's start off with 21. We got 39 and 75. So that's your improper fraction. Finally, we'll look at mixed numbers. A mixed number consists of an integer. Remember that an integer could be positive or negative, and it also has a proper fraction attached to it. So let's look at a few examples. An integer 3 and a proper fraction 2/7. An integer 10, a proper fraction 4/17. An integer 1, proper fraction 6/13. An integer 5, proper fraction 9/23. So these are examples of mixed numbers. So you have an integer and then you have a proper fraction attached to it.